Okay, I think I'm going now. Hey, everybody. Nicodemus came back once again. It is June the 9th. It is a 6/9/2020. I don't mean to do them like this. They just kind of happen. But I want to make this quick. I just wanted to get on here and just talk for a second. It's before I got to go to work, so this is going to be quick. This is going to be a quick video. I wanted to tell you guys a story. My grandfather died back in 2009, and I don't really know the date because it's one of those things that I kind of put out of my head. But he passed away in 2009 due to medical conditions brought on by wrong diagnosis. The doctors treated him incorrectly while he was in the hospital, and he was put into a coma. And when he came out, he was just not himself. He was like a vegetable. They put him in a nursing home, and he passed away a couple weeks afterwards. This isn't about how he died. This is about what happened after he died. So before the funeral, day before the funeral, we were pulling photographs from my grandmother's old photographs, her old albums, just different things that she had. And we were putting them on the picture board. Everybody kind of has that picture board of all the things that you want to remember your family member by, the way it was. So my aunts and we had an argument over a certain picture, and the picture was my great grandfather, my great grandmother's second husband. It was that I remembered my grandpa and my great grandpa. They were in a boat fishing, and that was one of the few pictures I had of my grandfather fishing, where he was out on the water and was really enjoying it. And she didn't like it because of my great grandfather, because she didn't like him for whatever reason. I don't know why. And we had a drag out argument. Drag out. A lot of words were said. So bad that my grandmother had to leave the room in tears. It fractured the family. It really did. It was pretty bad, messed up, all because of one picture, one little tiny picture that happened to have one person in that picture that somebody didn't agree on. Now we reconciled and we put the picture up anyways, and everybody seemed to go their way, but it was a very important thing. It was that the images that you use to remember a person, especially one that has passed away at a funeral or something like that, the image that you use is so important that it will fracture families. And that's always stuck with me. That's always been one of those things that have stuck with me, is that how much we came to blows over just some what you would think of as just some tiny little thing, but it's an important thing. You're going through the grieving process, and you want to have that one image to remember your loved one by. Okay, so keep that in mind. With that in mind, let's talk about this image right here. This is old. We all float down here. Georgie, Floyd's funeral. And as you can see, if you can see, I can't blow this up because it's kind of a small image. This picture they got to put beside his coffin. What is that? That looks like some weird ass FaceTime selfie. I don't know what's going on there, man. What's going on there? what is this? What this is? I just had this happen to come into my mind space a couple days ago, and I saw it. And when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute. That's the image that they want people to remember him by? Is that weird looking, selfie? I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. It's just really, it's bizarre because my family came to blows over a photo to put on a photo board because it means that something that much to the people that are grieving. Now, if that's what they wanted, then hey, that's what they want. They can have it. I mean, maybe he was just that kind of guy. He liked taking selfies. I don't know. To me, it just seems like there's a lot better pictures of the guy that's out there, But my question is, what's going on here? I mean, I know what's going on here. Let's be honest. I understand what's happening with this whole thing. But what's going on here? You want to wake your friends up? What's that? What is that? That's weird, man. It's just weird. It does. It's like an iPhone selfie. It's like a FaceTime selfie. It's like it's almost like a Snapchat selfie. Like somebody pulled that off of Snapchat. What the hell is that? And they went through the trouble blowing that up, too. That's a pretty big picture. That's a poster-sized picture. I mean, that's not just, we're going to take a little tiny selfie image and we're going to put it on a board with a bunch of other, 4x5, photos. That's a pretty big, that's probably a 24 by, what are poster sizes now? 36 by 18 or whatever they are? I mean, that's huge. What is this? What's going on here? I just thought it was weird. I just wanted to cover that with you guys. I just, just a quick little thing, just to ask a question. What the hell is going on? What's going on here? What is this? This is just, it's bizarre. It's bizarre and strange, and I know they throw it in our face all the time. They mock us all the time, and this is getting beyond the pale. That's what this is. I just don't know. And of course, other people have talked about the coffin being too small. Apparently, this guy was 6'6". Nice numerology there. And there's guys that are saying that coffin's only 6 feet tall as it is. So, or 6 feet long as it is. So you could only fit a person in there that's maybe 5'11", 5'10". I don't know. I haven't done the math. I've said that I've seen other pictures where it's in front of a car. All you have to do is measure the wheelbase of the car and then measure the coffin itself, and you should be able to get a decently accurate number. I don't know. I just saw this pic. I just saw that, and it's real too. I mean, you can go hunt this down. It's kind of hard to find any more images of this because they're showing all these other pictures of all the other funerals and stuff. But I happen to Google the Pink Floyd memorial or the Pink Floyd funeral. I'm calling him Pink Floyd now. It's like you can't even say his whole name without the YouTube algorithm popping you or something. So we all float down here, Georgie Floyd. Yeah, it's weird. Something that we need to talk about. Other things, just real quick, things that people are not talking about was this. I talked about this, and I'm going to keep talking about this. State Bar Group calls for mandatory shots, regardless of objections. I've been talking about this for the past 2 weeks, and it's only just now kind of sparking a little bit, but not a lot. I've been posting this everywhere. Every time I see anything about the shots or the virus or whatever, I post this, and it's only just now starting to pick up. This is still a thing. This is still coming June the 13th. That is 4 days away. On June 13th, the governing body of the Bar Association will vote on whether, as a full organization, to adopt the task force, yada, yada, yada. Okay, but I just saw this while I was hunting for that. This is new. This is as of June the 4th. I didn't even know this. Lawyers, professors push back against state bar group call for mandatory shots. And it's this whole thing. We might talk about this later. I don't know. Some lawyers and law professors are so small but often passionate field of shot law are pushing back against New York State Bar Association health law section yada yada yada. For all, including those who won't want the shots for religious or philosophical or personal reasons, ranging from criticism, yada yada yada. It doesn't say anything's getting done. It's basically just saying, there's a bunch of people that are pushing back against this. The one thing I wanted to say though is that where's it at? It's a lot of lawyer talk, and they're basically saying, there seems to be a higher precedence than, the one case way back in 1905. It's been 115 years since the one case, and we can't use that as a thing. Anyways, it published the one article. It published this article on May the 28th. On this thing, when bail must be taken by all Americans. The one exception was for medical reasons. The Full Bar Association, which boasts some 70,000 members, has not decided yet on whether to adopt the health section's recommendation. That decision will come June the 27th through a bar on the Bar Association. Bar Association governing body. So apparently this has been changed. There was supposedly the virtual meeting that was happening on June the 13th. But now it's June the 27th. I'm still going to keep saying June the 13th. Because now we're doing this whole thing where they're talking about the exposed Billy Boy Gates on June the 13th. That's what a lot of, I think the Corbett Report and a couple other guys are getting together and doing that. And I've been screaming at them saying, no, wait, you've got this other thing happening June the 13th as well. So I'm going to keep saying June the 13th on this, but this might be moving it back. I don't know. Anyways, this thing, this was what I wanted to talk about. This just doesn't, what in the hell, man? What's going on? What's going on in the world? What is this all about? What's happening? I've been having a hard time wrapping my head around it, and it just, other things that have been happening. 2 days ago, and I looked for the article, I can't find it anymore. 2 days ago, the United Nations was talking about sending in their troops because they have a problem with the way that the United States is not only, the problems that we had with old Pink Floyd, but they were having a problem with the way that we were handling protesters. So they were going to be sending in troops. What I heard, that was the article I read. I don't know where it went. Again, it happens. And that was like, okay, well, there's the start of your, New World Order stuff, one world government. And then today I read that the family of Mr. Pink Floyd, first song on Dark Side of the Moon, which is Breathe. I can't breathe. They are asking, like they have any authority to go ask the United Nations. They are asking the United Nations to disarm our police, as are many others too. There are several civil rights groups that are asking the United Nations to step in. So that's where we're kind of heading here, Once the United Nations gets their troops on the ground, we're done. Country's over. Once they get their people on the ground, we are officially occupied by a foreign army. That's the only way I can say it that you will understand it in the most logical way possible. Once the United Nations gets their forces on our soil in order to take care of our problems, because we should be able to handle our own problems. But once they get their troops on our soil, we are officially invaded and we are officially at war. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. And tell your friends, tell your kids, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your grandma, your grandpa, tell whoever. Because these people are talking about it and it's happening, and it's just one thing after another. And boy, they got the shots ready to give to you, and they got the tracking ready to get to you, and they got all this other kind of stuff ready to get to you. And once you become an occupied territory, they can do whatever the hell they want to with you. That is a fact, Jack. Wake up and pray. Wake up and pray, wake up and fight, wake up and do whatever the hell you gotta do, because I don't even know anymore. I can't, there's nobody's fighting. Nobody's doing anything. These people out protesting, they're not fighting, they're rioting. And they're rioting for all the wrong reasons. We need to have patriots out there with guns right up front of the lawns of government officials saying we're not going to take this anymore. But we don't. We have a bunch of kids that are out there pissing and moaning and screaming because they think that they're being oppressed. So there you go. All I gotta say. Made it short and sweet. See you guys later.